Hi, my name is Manib Minhazuddin, and I am the Vice President of Edge Computing at VMware. Welcome to the VMworld 2021 session. Edge Computing will be the fastest monetizing service for CSPs. Today at VMworld, we announced our VMware Edge Compute Stack, which is a brand new stack focused for enterprises to build their edge solutions. And VMware has just delivered that. And you saw that in all our announcements and in the general session keynote and following keynotes. So we're helping enterprises accelerate their edge compute solutions. And while enterprises deploy their solutions at the edge, the edge represents, an entire new source of monetization for CSPs. 5G is driving a shift in both consumer and enterprise expectations. High speeds, low latency for consumers, and immersive experiences for enterprise customers. As new edge native applications are being written for these edge, they're placing more stringent real-time demands on the network that many enterprises will likely want to find the best solution for. And CSPs are in the prime position to solve for this. I actually believe that communication service providers will become the hyperscalers for edge compute, like the hyperscalers did public cloud solutions. So with that, let's jump into the session. Some of the conversations we'll have will be, futuristic. So, we just want to make sure that, you understand the disclaimer that, some of the conversations are futures and, let's know, so some of the things will not, happen in the future. With that, let me invite my first guest. I'm excited to have from, NTT Docomo, Hisakazu Tsuboya-san, who's the Senior Vice President, General Manager of 5G and IoT Business at NTT Docomo. Welcome to our session, Tsuboya-san. I'm so excited to have you joining us today at VMworld.
Thank you very much.
And I really appreciate your time. So let me get you started with one of my first questions is, how is NTT Docomo rolling out 5G services? What stage are you in deployment of these 5G services at the edge?
Okay. So first of all, thank you very much for a kind introduction. So I'm Hisakazu Tsuboya from NTT Docomo and responsible for the 5G application deployment and enterprise businesses. So I'm very honored to have this opportunity to speak at a global event organized by VMware today. So thank you very much. So just about the first question. So NTT Docomo was the first Japanese mobile carrier to launch 5G on March 25th, 2020. Docomo's 5G is currently used by more than 5 million users in Japan. And with more than 10,000 5G stations, we are steadily expanding our coverage throughout Japan. So with the aim to create new value through 5G and to solve social issues, so Docomo has been operating the 5G Open Partner Program. That is a very strong relationship with our partner. So now over 4,000 companies and organizations have participated in this program. This program enables us to launch more than 300 new 5G solutions up to now. So especially as for the edge services, Docomo started our own MEC called Docomo Open Innovation Cloud, which is directly linked to the 5G core networks. So the services are provided at the 4 locations in Japan. So VMware's technology has been introduced in this MEC and great contribute to the Docomo's 5G achievement up to now. So as mentioned, 100 out of 300 5G new solutions deployed to the Docomo Open Innovation Cloud and provide high speed and high capacity video transmission and remote control by leveraging the property of low latency. So especially in XR markets such as AR glass, MR, and VR are quite important from now on. So Docomo believes it can be scaled to more solutions. So we are constantly striving to create new solutions by Make platform. That's all so far. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was that sounds like you do have a very comprehensive rollout that's happening. That's, with a great adoption from users and businesses. That's quite exciting. Let me kind of, jump into my second question. As you see, this large deployment with a large ecosystem, a lot of enterprises and services,
Right.
At what stage, are, a lot of these, I guess, as they roll out these customers in different stages, what business challenges and drivers are there for deploying 5G services to enterprises? Like, I'm sure there are some challenges they encounter.
Mm-hmm. Thanks. So just thinking about these 2 years commercial experience, so I assume that there are 2 points. So area coverage and partner relationship. So first, that area coverage. So we believe the realization of optimal service areas by deploying the 5G networks is important factor and driver. So we need to understand the needs of each partner and deploy service areas with appropriate functions and frequency bands in the required locations from urban area to rural areas. So there is air coverage is one of the most important point, and mobile carrier contribute to the providing solutions to customer challenges. That's a first point. So a second point is about the partner relationship. So as I mentioned, so we have we just started the 5G Open Partner Program, right? So we believe it is important to contribute to build a relationship between Docomo and our partners to create new social values. So to date, Docomo has built a variety of business assets, including strong 5G networks and a customer base of more than 80 million customers, secure payment system, and push mechanism. So by making these Docomo assets available to partners with expertise and wisdom, so we will work with them to create the new businesses and achieve sustainable economic growth. So with the launch of 5G, means of achieving high speed, low latency, and high security regardless of location were the realized for the first time. So, and we have progressed many experiments by collaborating with many partners. Through multiple trial and errors, so we are able to create new business with 5G and edge services.
So that's great, Suboya-san, that you're expanding your 5G services from from urban areas to rural areas, building a large partner ecosystem. Right. The next question I really have for you, you said you're trying a different trial and error with solutions. What edge services solutions are you running live today, and what do you plan to bring for the future for enterprise customers?
So especially now we are focusing on the specific industry area. So the at Docomo, 5G is used in the various industries up to now, but especially now I'm focusing on the medical and construction industries. So especially in the medical field, we are providing to telemedicine by leveraging the 5G high-speed and high-capacity video transmission. So by connecting patients and doctors remotely, especially in this COVID-19 circumstance, so the patients can be examined from remote locations with high-resolution images to the doctor. So there is a 5G field. It's very contributing to the medical field. So also healthcare professionals can be connected to each other to share the information and specialists in specific medical areas can remotely support the examinations, so that doctors to doctor. So further, such information is protected by high security due to the closed nature of edge services. So this is the medical field is very important. The fundamental phase of our 5G services. That's the first area. The second area is about the construction industry. XR and AI technologies are used to significantly reduce the burden of time and cost. So by using XR for high speed and low latency video transmission, so it is possible to work by receiving real time and the easy to understand remote support with smart glass and other media. So the MEC Edge and the VMware technology is very powerful the support to this field. So in addition, by using the AI, so it is possible to grasp the progress at the construction site in real time and to check the state of the site before and after the design change. So as with healthcare, this information is protected by high security due to the closed nature of edge services. So this medical and the construction field is very we feel the potential to expand the 5G solution. So Docomo also sells Google Glass equipment and provide the solution called SReal. So yeah, various kinds of the smart glass to the market, and we try to expand 5G solution in the near future. Thanks.
Oh, thank you, Shibuya-san. That was amazing. I think sounds like you've had some very good, use cases for specific industries in healthcare and construction and expanding in the new areas. And you're leveraging VMware's technology in the MEC and to deliver the 5G solutions. We're thankful for you to using our solution and look for your partnership as we go together and solve some edge services problems, leveraging 5G for enterprise customers together. Thank you so much for your time today, and
thank you very much.
Insights with the VMworld audience. Thank you, Shibuya-san, and I'll move on to my next piece. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shibuya-san. That was pretty insightful what we heard from him about the adoption of 5G in Japan and NTT Docomo taking lead and leveraging VMware solutions to drive that. So now let's kind of change gears and see what's happening in another part of the world. And I guess we've seen the Asia market with Japan. Now let's kind of switch over and see what's happening in Europe. To share some insights, I have Emilio joining me from Telefonica. Emilio, welcome.
Okay, thank you.
Well, first, thank you for being here and sharing your insights. We've been talking about how the adoption of 5G is happening in different markets, and specifically how services are being deployed to enterprises. So first, let me kind of kick off with you and say, ask you a question about how are you seeing Telefonica's growth strategy come up, and especially leveraging 5G in your market.
Okay, well, 5G, for us is really important because as we are, a telco operator, we have presence not only in Europe, but also in Latin America. What we are seeing is that, the adoption of 5G is relying heavily on specific local market conditions, basically because of terms of spectrum options, availability of the networks in order to deploy that. So, for example, in Europe, in Spain, for example, we have 5G coverage for more than 80% of the population in the country. In the UK, for example, we have in more than 200 cities. And in Germany also, we have just deployed 5G, and we hope by the end of the year to reach 30% of the population. Right now, it's the non-standalone solution. So let's say that it is 5G, but not full 5G. And I think this is going to be very important in order to create the new services for 5G. because I think the full potential of the technology we will see when we adopt completely in all our markets the standalone solution. Because in terms of services, we believe that the very low latency that 5G is going to provide, I think, is key in order to create these new use cases that I think are key to create solutions that really rely on this 5G technology and really have the need of this new kind of technologies. Combining 5G also, as we are also, let's say, a cloud operator, I mean, the creation of edge services, I think it's also something that we are exploring. We are really seeing a lot of interest in this kind of services. So the combination of 5G plus the edge computing, I think, and also combined also with our fiber networks we have in many networks, this low latency, high speed access, I think will provide, our partners, because, we are developing services, but we will rely heavily on our partners in order to create this environment, to create these type of services.
Great. No, that sounds exciting. I know as you kind of think about, working with the ecosystem and partners and rolling the solution out, what challenges are you seeing, businesses and enterprise, typically trying to adopt, the full 5G service with, as a cloud operator, you're also providing edge compute. What are the challenges and what type of services are you seeing as emerging to be very significant and important in Europe and Latin America?
Well, as you mentioned, everything related to 5G, even though we have real 5G, so we have handsets with our 5G. But I think more than an increase in speed, which is something that now the user can see, I think the key thing for the future is to create these new capabilities, new services that really rely on the differential aspects of 5G. For example, we have launched a service in Spain, which is called the VDC Edge, which is an evolution of our infrastructure as a service solution that is based on VMware technology. So we are providing edge capabilities. So now we are in a phase in which we are experiencing with a lot of partners and customers, which would be these new services that really, will benefit from 5G. We have seen a lot of interest. We are working in many use cases that really take all the potential from the technology. And the idea is to work with them and exploring them and to see, what kind of services will benefit from the technology. Because one thing also we see is that for some of them, for example, edge computing, this combination of 5G edge, high-speed networks really make either a differential performance or just it's the only case in which it is possible. But in some other cases, perhaps it is not necessary to have this, let's say, full 5G edge environment. So perhaps a more traditional cloud one. So the thing is that what we are seeing is that we want to get like a cloud continuum in which, depending on the needs of the user or either mobility aspects, or performance, or latency, or volume of data to be processed. All these aspects will determine in which part of this continuum of the cloud, the application of the customer will be placed. So this is something that we think that, we are working. We have seen some test cases. We have done demonstrations. I think we are, it is still not very completely mature. So I think we are in a very good moment in which to know exactly what the customers are demanding, and then to place it in our technology and in services.
Great. Thank you, Emilio, for sharing this. Thank you, folks, for attending the session. To summarize it, we've heard both from Tsuboya-san in NTT and Emilio from Telefonica that as 5G gets rolled out consistently, edge computing is becoming an important part and an easy way to monetize 5G. The cloud continuum going from the data center to the public cloud. Now the workloads moving towards the edge becomes a prime opportunity for providers, just as you heard from NTT and Telefonica, to become I call it almost the hyperscalers at the edge, because where the hyperscalers worked well was it was centralized compute, and what's really happening is now distributed compute at the edge, and the service providers like Telefonica and NTT are well positioned to drive the next innovation in the edge. Just like probably in the last 10 years, we innovated in the cloud. The next 10 years, the innovation is going to be at the edge, and service providers are going to be the prime players in that. Thank you, Emilio, and thank you, everybody. And don't forget to take the survey and give us some feedback. Thanks for attending the session.